So I'm the Deputy Chair of the Combating Drugs Partnership, and my role is to support the Chair, the Police and Crime Commissioner, David Sidwick, but also to chair the Treatment and Recovery subgroup. And that's a really important group which is focused on making sure that we get the best out of that new money that's come into our system to provide additional places for people needing treatment and recovery from drug use. So the partnership brings together local leaders, local managers, people involved in a whole range of services that are connected to the issue of drugs in our local society, as well as a range of national targets that we have to achieve for increasing numbers of people in treatment, making sure that we're increasing disruptions of county lines and organised crime connected to drugs, and achieving that shift in demand for drugs through prevention work. It also is a forum where we shine a light on some of those challenges and bring together a range of expertise to explore the opportunity to do things differently and to not only meet those targets but to make sure that we're putting the issue of drugs right at the centre of the activity of the partnership. We've made really good progress on some of those headline targets in the national strategy. So we're increasing numbers of people in treatment, we're increasing numbers of disruptions of county lines and organised crime connected with drugs. We've also got some amazing innovative work going on where we're designing prevention intervention. It will be rolled out through schools to reach children and young people and help with that target to achieve a generational shift in the demand for drugs. Really difficult thing to do. But beyond that, I think we're also starting to have an impact on the culture, and some of those cultural questions are really important. Pushing back on the acceptability of illegal drug use, being more compassionate when we find people who really do need help and support for their addiction, challenging the stigma around illegal drug use and making it easier for people to get into treatment without fear of sanction, but also tackling the culture around prevention of demand for drug use in the first place. So questioning why in the past it's seemingly been acceptable to allow experimentation with drugs, to think that sometimes this is just a phase that people go through when they're young perhaps, and perhaps not understanding the complexity that leads to addiction down the line, because it's rarely one person's choice. There are a whole load of complex factors involved, and sometimes the shadow of organised crime involvement in drug use is perhaps ignored. The Combating Drugs Partnership is important because it brings together the key leaders, managers, people involved in services to really focus on the complexity of drug use in Dorset. And it's important to understand that behind every person who's addicted, behind every family who's affected, behind every community who's got concerns about the impact of crime and dealing on their streets, that complex series of issues, the partnership offers us a real chance to crack that chain that often leads back to organised crime and make sure that there's no place for drugs in Dorset.